I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. And I want to start by saying, welcome to Brussels. This is a wonderful venue with incredible, interesting exhibitions, but please do visit Brussels as well. Take a step, take a bike, go to the city center or go to the parks. It is an amazing city, so do enjoy it as it should be enjoyed. Because we want to make people feel at home. And that's a very crucial sentence. I want you to feel like home, but we also want people in Brussels feeling like home. And too often, home is confined to our apartment or our house. And our public space, that's what we share as a city, should feel like our home as well. It should feel like you're welcome there. We have a place where our children can play, where people can meet, where public space is created for people and not for getting cars from one side to the other. So we have a whole strategy, and I'm not allowed to elaborate on it because I only have 10 minutes, and I will stick to the topic of the day. But we have a whole strategy to make sure that we can change this public space, that we can invite people, that it becomes a more wonderful place to live in, to visit, to work in. And in order to do so, micromobility is one of the assets. Every tool we can have is a useful tool. And we see that micromobility is gaining popularity. Last years, we see more and more people living in Brussels who are using it, especially young people. I have two boys of 15. They feel incredibly tough when they ride their step. And we see that's something that takes people out of the car, out of the public transport, and makes them discover the city. So there's a whole lot of potential in it. We see tourists using it because we see people getting around it. So there's a lot of positive elements that we can see. And even that's on a daily basis, but even on more exceptional moments. For example, we had a strike of public transport. Well, at that time, we had a peak of 70,000 users or transports. Trips was the word I was looking for, trips in Brussels. We see that even on those moments, micromobility can be a solution for our city. So there's lots of positive things. Other positive things is that just like privately owned bikes or steps, it is an answer to pollution, takes less place, it makes not as much noise, it gives you a healthy way of being outside. So there's lots of advantage. The infrastructure is less expensive as a government. That is important. So we see all those positive elements. But there's a but. And that's, if I can use my 10 minutes here, it's to make a call to you and to have your attention for a cry of help. Brussels is very much in favor of hosting micromobility. Has always wanted to be a front runner, has always wanted to be a place where innovation can find its spot. But we need to solve the buts. We need to solve those things that are problematic. And I have a slideshow that I'm not using. Welcome to Brussels. One of the elements that is crucial that I want to talk to you about is road security. It's one element we see. We're fighting in Brussels to have a vision zero. It means no deaths and no heavy casualties in our traffic. We can get that goal. We can get that goal, and we want it in 2030. And we are in a good way. We see the number. We have reduced the speed limit. We see the number shifting down. We're investing in infrastructure. But there's one element that is really present in our figures, and we need to confront that, and this is the steps and the micromobility. So we know that we have more and more people using steps, and the number of accidents with the use of steps, it's not increasing at the same rate, so that's a good thing. The risk is slower, but we still are having too many accidents. So everybody who's creative, who has a good mind, who has impact on the sector, do continue innovating. Having larger wheels already helped, but please use all your creativity because we can save lives, and we need to save those lives in our region. And of course, it helps if we invest in sensibilization and making people aware of the risks and of the elements. So we do our campaigns, but I think if we do them together, it can have a bigger impact. And I think as a Minister for Mobility, it's one of my top priorities, making road security something from the past, and so no, from the future, but making accidents something from the past. So that's one element that I really want to talk to you about. A second element, I don't think it's a surprise. It is about, so you can here see more details, it is about respect. making sure that we have respect for one another is crucial. If we want micromobility to be loved, and I want to love micromobility without saying yes, but I just want to say yes. And so one element is this respect. And so we've put in place measurements, we've put in place the system of drop zones where you can install your step or your bike. We have put in place a system of fines, and it's never nice to fine somebody, but it is often necessary. And also those elements, we really need to work together to find those elements, otherwise we will lose public support for the system. And this is important because, as you can see here, we have many operators in Brussels. And if we have 12 operators on a small zone, drop zones won't be enough as a solution. So I'll come to the third part in a minute. That's the legal framework, and making choices and regulating this sector is crucial to make sure that the love we have for this sector can remain. But I want to stay 1 more minute with respect. These are people from KAWAP, people who are defending the rights of people who have disabilities and people who have bad vision, came to us and they said, we're afraid to go out because we don't know what's on our pavements. We have people saying that they can't get through in a city, and inclusion is the right for everybody to get around, to move around. So making sure that one way of getting around isn't hurting the other is essential. So also on that way, it is not about being controlling as a government, it's about resolving those issues who are really present. And we've seen a lot of improvements, but we still have a long way to go to make sure that everybody and every way of transport is sharing public space in a good way. And together, and that's the third point, we have implemented a legal framework. It was our way as a region to say, okay, we do want to keep those, but we need to make it more sustainable. We need to make sure that social elements, environmental elements are taken into account, road security, but also the impact on our roads in our city. And so we've put in place a legal system. We did it together with the operators, who were also asking to have some legal framework because the efficiency and also the rentability was an issue. Having 12 operators competing to one another is not good for the region because we do end up with too many steps on one place, but it's also not good for the economical viability of a sector. So we've put in place, I think, an ambitious framework, legal framework, which has on one hand saying, okay, we have drop zones. You need to put your bike in a drop zone. We have also put in place a system of fines, and we've also put in place a system of limiting the number of vehicles. And this is important, because if we limit the number of operators and vehicles, we can still give an answer to all the people, because people need to have enough vehicles to get around, but not having an over-offer, and we can also make sure that the economical players that they have an economical guarantee of sustainability in our region. But I have to admit, the last few years we've spent more time in court than on the streets, and that it's becoming a huge fight, and we will never win. We know as a politician, as a region, we will never win against international economical players. And so let's work together. Let's find solutions. Let's not fight this battle in court, because the political support for those good solutions, for this innovative instrument, is diminishing. I have to fight in Parliament. I have to defend that we continue. And more voices are saying, let's stop. We've tried it. It's not working. Let's stop it. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to say we cannot do it. We can do it. But we need to work together. We need not fight one another in court. We need to be creative, use all our brains and our innovation to have good solutions on road security, on respect for one another, and on how to have an economical system that is working. So please play by the rules. Please use your brains, and let's invent the future. Thank you.